Assalamu alaikum, dear students. Welcome to the class of Introduction to Business Finance. Dear students, today is our 11th lecture of Business Finance. With the precede of previous lectures, today we will discuss the long-term securities that are common stock and preferred stocks. We will value them. We will discuss the valuation model of long-term securities of common stock and preferred stock. We will find out the intrinsic values that an investor try to find out the intrinsic value of any type of preferred stock and common stock of different organizations of different firms for the purpose of investing in those securities. Dear students, recall from the previous lecture, from the lecture 9, we started the concept of long-term debt in the lecture 9. Due to the length of your video, we only discussed the bonds and their features in the lecture 9, the types of long-term debt instruments in the lecture 9, the retirement of bonds in the lecture 9. The remaining part, which were preferred stocks and common stocks, we will discuss in today's lecture and the upcoming lecture. In lecture 12, we will discuss the features of preferred stocks and the features of common stocks and types of common stock holders, types of common stocks, shares, and etc. For now, we only visualize, we only understand the valuation model of preferred stock and common stock, that how organization give value to the common stocks and preferred stocks, and how an investor can find out the intrinsic value, the internal value of a common stock or of a preferred stock. So let me start with the chapter objectives. We will discuss the distinctions among valuation concepts, preferred stock valuation and common stock valuation. Dear students, first of all, I'm going to explain that what is preferred stock and what is common stock. If you remember, we are discussing the financing part of the introduction of business subject. In financing part, we studied in lecture 7 the short-term securities, the short-term financing. In lecture 8, we studied the medium term or term financing or term debts. In lecture 9, we started the long term financing or long term debts. So all of our topics are interrelated with each other. In lecture 7, which we started the short term financing, that was internal financing, that was related to the postponing of the salaries of the employees, the tax of the government, the accounts payable of the other organizations. So that was internal financing. In term financing, we studied that these are the instruments, these are debts that are more than 1 year till 10 years. In term financing, we also studied the lease financing, also we studied equipment financing. In lecture 10, we started the long-term debts. In that lecture, we studied that there are plenty of long-term financing which are started their maturity value or their face value from 1 year till 30 years till 50 years. So they are long-term securities. In long-term securities, we studied the different kinds of bonds, debentures, mortgage bonds, subordinated bonds, and etc. So the remaining part of that long-term securities or the preferred stock and common stock. We will discuss only the valuation model of preferred stock and common stock. So dear students, you better know that these are all concepts or related to the fundraising for the organization. Any organization that needs to raise funds for their future projects, for their expansion of businesses, for their expansion of organizations, so they need to raise funds for their expansion of organization or for the future projects. So they are allowed to raise funds from the different concepts such as short-term financing or from the mid-term financing, or we can say term financing, or from the long-term financing. If their projects are long-term projects, so they go to the long-term financing. If their future projects are term, mid-term or medium-term projects, so they go for the medium-term financing. If their projects are very short-term, within 1 year, so they can use internal financing or short-term financing. So overall concept of the financing is to raise funds for the organization, to increase funds for the organization for the future projects. And not only the organizations, the firms need to raise funds for their organizations to raise funds for their future projects, but also governments of the organization, governments in the world also need to raise funds for their future projects. So we can know that most of the countries, most of the states, most of the governments needs funds for the future projects, such as the building of the dam, the building of the roads, constructions of the roads, the constructions of the schools, colleges, universities, and etc. When they go through these projects, so they must need fund, and for the complementation, for the accomplishment of these projects, so they raise funds from these different financing terms. So let me start with the preferred stock. What is preferred stock? Is type of stock that promises a usually fixed dividend. So it's same like the bond. Bond also issued for the on the base of fixed interest rate, and preferred stocks are also issued for the purpose of raising funds on the base of fixed dividend. So only the name is different. These are preferred stocks, and bonds are the bonds. Their terms and conditions are the same. Bonds also issue for the purpose of raising funds. Preferred stocks are also issued for the purpose of raising funds. Bonds are also issued on the base of fixed interest, and preferred stocks are also issued on the base of fixed dividend. So only the name is changed, but their function, their performance, their purpose are the same. But at the discretion of the board of directors. What's the difference between the bond? Bonds are not on the discretion of the board of directors. They are issued, their interest is issued without the authority of the board of directors. But in the case of preferred stock, the board of directors have authority that either they will go to pay the dividend, fixed dividend to the preferred stockholders, either they do not pay the dividend to the preferred stockholders. This is discretion of the board of directors. This is in the authority of the board of directors. Preferred stock is preference over common stock. From the name it denotes that preference, preferred preference. So they have preference over the common stock. It means that the prefers, if I am preferred stockholder of the Nokia organization, Nokia Corporation, so I will get dividend before the common stock. I have preference on the common stockholder because I am preferred stockholder of the Nokia Corporation. So I have preference over them. So in the payment of dividends and on the case of claims on the assets. So I also have preference over common stockholders when the organization of Nokia has been liquidated, failed in the market. When Nokia organization or Nokia Corporation want to liquidate their organization, so I will have preference on the common stock on claim of the assets of the Nokia Corporation. So this is difference between the common stock and preferred stock. So preferred stock valuation formula, you can see that It's same like the bonds valuation. There is no difference. So V means valuation or value of the preferred stock. What does it mean? It means intrinsic value of the preferred stock. Shagardoi Aziz Mang Puigu your your stock among the Nokia Corporation, either it is of the Samsung Corporation, either it is of the Nike Corporation, any organization. Kachiri mang poigu che mang daga stocks mang le para available di mang wadu che investment ku stock market ki mang wadu che preferred stock wakhlu no the preferred stock de akhasto le para mang makheta how organizations موجود دي پراته دي چې اوی موږ ته خپل سټاکس افر کوي چې واخلي. اوس موږ څنګه کولای شو چې دا سټاکس ډیفرنشیټ کو چې کوم یو سټاک پروفیټیبل دی ماته دغه د نوکیا کارپوریشن سټاک واخلم نو ایدر دا مال لپاره هاي پروفیټ راکی کزه د سامسنګ کارپوریشن دغه واخلم سټاک واخلم دا ماته زیات ګټه راکی پروفیټ هاي پروفیټ راکی کوم د نایکی اورګنایزیشن نایکی کارپوریشن یا کوم هر اورګنایزیشن وي خو چې د اورګنایزیشن موږ ډیفرنسییشن کوو نو هغه on the base of valuation differentiation کوو چې valuation وکړو موږ دا موږ intrinsic value find out کو نو موږ کولای شو چې د یو اورګنایزیشن سټاک internal in intrinsic value find out no the intrinsic value they find out kawolo sorry guys so we can find out the intrinsic value of different organizations. On the base of this intrinsic value we can find out that which stock is profitable for us. من کولای شو چې کوم سټاک د کوم اورګنایزیشن پریفرډ سټاک موږ لپاره زیاته ګټه راکړي پروفیټیبل دی ځکه اورګنایزیشنز خو ډیر دي زرهاو اورګنایزیشنز دي په دنیا کې او دوی په سټاک ایکسچینج کې رجسټرډ دي دوی په مسلسل ډول د انویسټرز لپاره سټاکس افر کوي چې تاسو سټاکس واخلئ پریفرډ سټاک افر کوي کامن سټاکس افر کوي چې موږ په پریفرډ سټاک کې لګیایو نو موږ دغه ویلیویشن ماډل دا د انټرنسک ویلیو فایند اوټ کول دي د انویسټر لپاره هغه کس چې پریفرډ سټاک اخیستون کې دی یا هغه انټرسټډ دی چې هغه پریفرډ سټاک واخلي. So what is formula for the intrinsic value calculation? V means value of the preferred stock, which is equal to summation of all future cash flows. مونږ پوهیږو چې کله مونږ preferred stock اخلو نو مونږ ته دوه cash flows find out کیږي. We have two cash flows when we purchase the preferred stock of the organization. For example, what are these cash flows? First is dividend and second is the future sale of the preferred stock. نو ته کولای چې سټاک مارکیټ کې اخیستل شوی سټاک اخیستل شوی پریفرډ سټاک په سټاک مارکیټ کې خرڅ کی نو دا فیوچر پرایس دی مې بي پوسیبل تا په 1000 اخیسته او په انده کې تا په 1200 خرڅ ک نو 200 روپۍ تا ته هغه هم کیش فلو دی په فیوچر کې اٹ از آلسو کیش فلو فار یو نو یو ډیویډنډ شو یو فیوچر پرایس شو دا موږ سره دوه کیش فلوز دي نو موږ چې کله ویلیو فایند اوټ کوو نو موږ د ټول ډیویډنډز چې په فیوچر کې موږ ترلاسه کوو تر انفینټی لایف پورې انفینټ لایف لا تنهي لایف because preferred stocks are the long term securities. They are started from 1 year till 30 years till 50 years, so we cannot fix the maturity value, the maturity date of the preferred stock. So these are infinite stocks, they have infinite life. So how we can find out the value of the preferred stock which has infinite life? Summation of all future cash flows. Future cash flows is dividend, DIV of preferred stock. Yani dividend of preferred stock divided by 1 plus KP. So they are discounted to present value. ځکه تنه نه اخلي تنه ولاړې نو آینده کې ته سوچ کې چې آینده کې دا به ماته څومره پیسې راکړي نن به ویلیو څومره نو ټول فیوچر کیش فلوز ته څه کې ډسکاونټ کې تر نن لپاره نو they are discounted by the 1 plus KP whole is power by 1. So what is the meaning of KP? It is the cost of capital or it is investors expected return, required return. نو دا زه انویسټر یم زه کوم ریټرن ریکوایرډ کوم په دې باندې به ته چې کې ډسکاونټ کې د پریزنټ ویلیو لپاره یعنی ته د پریزنټ ویلیوز راوباسې د ټولو فیوچر کیش فلوز چې دی اور ډیویډنډز Now, summation. This is sign of summation. Summation does sign. Summation mana jama kawal, the future values, the future cash flows to jama kawal. The summation of infinite life. La yatanahi John, the you stock, and started from the time 1, not from time 0. यानी हम दाउस तो निश्चित यो काल पे तीरी की बताते डिविडेंड मिलावेगी तो जो स्टॉक आखली नो यो काल उससे बताते डिविडेंड मिलावेगी नो फ्रॉम स्टार्टेड फ्रॉम द टाइम 1. So what? Dividend of preferred stock divided by 1 plus KP whole is power by T, and this is also found by the present value interest factor annuity, because it's annuity. Every year you get the cash flow from the organization, every year too you get the dividend from the organization. So this getting of dividend will show the annuity, so it's annuity. So you can find out this formula on the base of table which has been given by the authors of the books. So now, as it is a perpetuity, it has a perpetuity, it is a infinite life, so it will be discounted, it will be reduced to the formula which is V is equal to dividend of preferred stock divided by KP. So 1 is reduced from it, the whole is power by T is reduced from it, because it is found the intrinsic value of only 1 year, because it is perpetuity. So we cannot find out the limited life, the limited maturity date of the preferred stock. Yani mang nishu kawale infinity life lari no mang tasa pata da da organization ba su kalu puri jurian lari da preferred stock ba masaratar su kalu puri vi no it has infinity life no da long term security de no mang kawale shu sirf intrinsic value de yow kal le para find out. No yow kal le para de find out kawlo le para da formula ch kum mangdal tarakral shwe, that is reduce shu V is equal to dividend of preferred stock divided by only the investors required return KP. No mung pur investors required return bandi divide ko mung the simple the value of the preferred stock last saraj. Now we can understand by doing an example. For example, preferred stock PS preferred stock has an 8% stock PS has an 8% dividend, right? 100% $100 its par value or face value. Issuing outstanding, it's already issued in the market. The appropriate discount rate is 10%. Discount rate is the investors required rate of return. That is investor return rate. So what is the value of the preferred stock? Simply we find out that 100 is its face value, $100 is face value, and 8% is dividend. So 8 multiplied by 100, it will be $8. 8%, which becomes 0.08 multiplied by 100, it becomes $8. So we know that the KP, the investors required rate, is 10%. So dividend divided by KP, which is $8 divided by 0.1 sorry. So when we divide 8 divided by 0.1, it becomes $80. So the intrinsic value of a preferred stock for 1 year is only $80, and we are going to purchase this preferred stock by $100. So we are in loss. Investors do not purchase this stock because he is purchasing this stock by $100, and every year it provides him $80. So there is minus of $20. So this $20 is loss for the investor, so he will not go to purchase this kind of stock. Clear? Next, common stock. Preferred stock is cleared. We will discuss in lecture 12 the features of preferred stocks and the features of common stocks, the types of common stocks and the types of preferred stocks, and other related concepts in the lecture 12. Today we only try to understand the valuation model of the both stocks, the preferred stocks and the common stocks. So for the preferred stock, we understood how we valualize, how we find out the intrinsic value of the preferred stock. Now we discuss the common stock valuation, how we find out the intrinsic value of common stock. Before I told you there is difference between the common stock and preferred stock. Preferred stocks are same like the bonds. Preferred stocks have a fixed dividend. Preferred stock has preference over the common stock. So common stocks are after the preferred stocks. They are also fundraising method. These are also issued by the organizations to raise funds for their organization in the future. So every organization try to sell their common stocks in the stock market to raise funds for their future projects. So it shows the residual ownership of the organization. So this is difference between the preferred stock and common stock. Preferred stock also has a ownership position, but it's different from the common stock because it has residual ownership. It's same like the owner of the organization. Da yo malikiyet de ki tawan shtam gatam shtam. Yani common stock की मुंगे फिक्स डिविडेंड है तात दर की ₹10 डिविडेंड तात वचे पर ₹100 बांधे ₹10 डिविडेंड तात हर काल दर को या हर मैच दर को दैट इज फिक्स्ड. सो अल्तबे ऑनरशिप ले मंजजी दलत चदे ऑनरशिप असली की जका दलत मंगता फिक्स डिविडेंड ने दे कचेरी ₹10 गटी आगे पर बेस बांधे खपल दे कैपिटल पर बेस बांधे बता गट दर कोल की का वो ₹10 तावान कई नुस्ताद कैपिटल पर निस्बत बांधे बताता तावान दर कोल की. इट मींस देयर इज नो फिक्स डिविडेंड फॉर द कॉमन स्टॉक होल्डर्स. प्रो राटा शेयर ऑफ फ्यूचर अर्निंग्स. प्रो राटा मींस प्रोपोर्शनेट कैपिटल. Pro rata means proportionate capital. चता ₹10 लगवली और दे ₹10 गटल नुस्ताद ₹10 पे बेस बांधे बताता गट दरकोल की कचेरी ₹10 तावान के नुस्ताद ₹10 द कैपिटल पे बेस बांधे बताता तावान दरकोल की जका इट्स कॉल्ड pro rata share of future earnings after all obligations are fulfilled of the firm. Dividend may be paid out of the pro rata share of earnings. यानी स्तासु dividend fixed न दे thus the organization the गटे of the तावान पर बेस बांधे बताता दरकोल की. This is difference between the common stock and preferred stock. So common stocks, what cash flows received the common stockholder? Cash flow will the shareholder receive when coming shares of the common stocks. They are future dividends and the future sale of the common stock shares. यानी तो हम फ्यूचर डिविडेंड्स तर ला सकवले छी दा यो कैश फ्लो देता ले पारा इनकम देता ले पारा रिटर्न देता ले पारा और हम तो फ्यूचर सेल ऑफ द कॉमन स्टॉक कवले छी यानी फ्यूचर प्राइस च त जरा फसला से पे योसल शले खर्चे नो ₹10 ता फ्यूचर कैश फ्लो दे और हम तो हर कल डिविडेंड आखले हम ताले पर कैश फ्लो दे. मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम्स ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस पे डिविडेंड टू द कॉमन स्टॉक होल्डर्स. डिविडेंड वर्क कई दा से न च टोल लॉस कई चेर ये organization last alert she do the last मिलावशी. Most of the times organization pay dividends to the common stockholders. यानी का फिक्स न दे हो expectations तचे दुई बल्लास न के दुई बच्चे की प्रॉफिट बके और दा चले द organization पर रेटिंग बेस बांधे दे जका मंग आलता द रेटिंग organizations लरूला का मूडीज हमेशा कोशिश के जो organization त रेट वर्की AAA AA B single A double B triple B, capital letter triple B, small letter capital B. These are the ratings method of the Moody's. No third पदेवा निम कवलेश कचेरी दा कैपिटल ट्रिपल ए रेट की भी मतलब टॉप पोजीशन के दे दा ऑर्गेनाइजेशन ले पर 10 एक्सपेक्टेशंस भी चदा ऑर्गेनाइजेशन पॉइंट की तावान न की जकदा रेट वर्कर शवे देते तो द फ्यूचर हिस्ट्री द फ्यूचर हिस्ट्री का तलशवे च तेरो देश कलुनु की ₹2 तावान न दे कड़े हमेशा दे गटे पर तरफ रवान दी नो रेटिंग बदे हाई भी नो मूडीज ते रेटिंग वर्क कई नो इन्वेस्टर हमेशा ऑर्गेनाइजेशन दाखिल त नजी दे आगे रेटिंग्स तो गोरी च मूडी दे तो सुमर रेट वर्क करे नोरम ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस पर दुनिया किश्ता चाहे रेटिंग कंपनीज दी वावे ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस द दुनिया सुमर च दे आवे रेटिंग वर्क की नो आवे मोगोरा द दुई मोगोरा द टोल मोगोरा नो यो इन्वेस्टर कवले शिजी पर रातलुन की द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन पर कॉमन स्टॉक परचेज की और डिविडेंड तरला सकी नो मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम्स ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस are in the mood of getting profit, not getting loss. So in the case of common stock we get two kinds of cash flows. First is the future dividends and the second is the future sale of the common stock shares. Clear? Now dividend valuation model. Now most of the organizations pay growth dividend in the organization, pay growth dividend to the common stockholders. यानी दो डिविडेंड ग्रो कई यो फिक्स ग्रो दे फिक्स डिविडेंड दे लक मंग पर प्रेफर्ड स्टॉक क्यों वेली चलता ग्रो निश्ता ₹10 वाला वर दर सर फैसला करे तर देशु कलुनु पुर तर सलवेख करनु पुर तर सलो कलुनु पुर ता मागा देश दर कोल की जका फिक्स दे. लेकिन पर कॉमन स्टॉक केस की इन द केस ऑफ कॉमन स्टॉक organizations, most of the organizations grow their dividend. اول کال لس ورکړي، دوم کال یو لس ورکړي، دریم کال 12 ورکړي، دریم کال 14 ورکړي، نو د دوی دا grow کوي دغه دا dividend چې د دوی profit increase کیږي، د دوی دا dividend هم grow کوي، زیاتیږي. So we will discuss the dividend valuation model in the case of common stock. Basic dividend valuation model accounts for the present value of all. देखिए जो ग्रो नहीं हुई, जो बिल्कुल ग्रो नहीं हुई, हाँ से कॉमन स्टॉक्स की जो मंगला वैल्यूएशन फाइंड आउट को, मंग वैल्यू इंट्रिंसिक वैल्यू फाइंड आउट को, नो मंग चेको फ्यूचर कैश फ्लो समृद्धि देगा पर प्रेजेंट वैल्यू के डिस्काउंट. सादा सिंपल यानी हमारा शेयर है like a preferred stock बंदी. V is equal to dividend 1 divided by 1 plus K plus dividend 2 divided by 1 plus K plus dividend लायतना ही dividend infinity life divided by 1 plus K whole is power by infinity life till the infinity life. So it also will be decreased to the dividend of T divided by 1 plus K whole is power by T. So when the maturity date is infinity, unlimited, and the time starts from the 1 year, not from the 0. दे मतलब दादे 0 और 1 मतलब दादे چې ته स्टॉक واخلې او په ما غوړ ستا स्टॉक هم واخلې ډیویډند هم واخلې. اټس امپوسیبل. تا په ډیویډند باندې یو کال تیر شي به تا ته ډیویډند ملاويږي. نن دې واخلې کال په امدغه ورځ باندې به تا ته ډیویډند ملاويږي. So therefore they written here that T is equal to 1. यानी the 1 strategy dividend of 1 year divided by 1 plus K whole is power by of 1 year. So dividend is cash dividend at time T and equity investors required return. So adjusted dividend valuation model, we also have adjusted valuation model. The basic dividend model adjusted for the future stock sale. यानी future stock sale हम पक्की include शुरू देते adjusted valuation model हुई. यानी V is equal to dividend 1 divided by 1 plus K plus dividend 2 divided by 1 plus K whole is power by 2 plus dividend n of year n plus price of n year future price of the sale of preferred common stock and divided by 1 plus K whole is power by n. यानी दगा portion पर के इजाफा शु. You can see that increased added the price of future sale of the common stock. Now n is equal to the year in which the firm's shares are expected to be sold and the price n is the expected share price in the year n. यानी यो प्राइस लरी چې تا په 0 کې اخسه آینده کې په 200 کې خرڅه تا په 100 کې اخسه آینده په 100 کې خرڅه. No, it's not confirmed that you will sell at in the high price. Maybe possible the markets are downturning and you will sell your future stock in the $900 or $90. نو ته تاوانم کولای شي. نو دا future price دی. Either you get profit, either you get loss. Both are the added to the valuation model. When the future price or future sale of the common stock is added to the valuation model, so it is called adjusted dividend valuation model. I am sure that you are getting the concept, you are getting the knowledge about the valuation model of the common stocks and preferred stock, right? Dividend growth patterns assumptions. Now we are in a position that we can find out the dividend growth patterns assumptions of the dividend models. Before I told you, before I explained that most of the organizations do not pay fixed dividend to the common stockholders, they have growth model in their dividend. यानी नन ता 100 रुपये हासिल कर एज ए डिविडेंड पर रातलून के काल के मैं भी पॉसिबल तो ये 10 रुपये डिविडेंड हासिल की पर रातलून पर नेक्स्ट ईयर के बाद कि मैं भी पॉसिबल यू विल गेट $120 एज ए डिविडेंड. सो योर डिविडेंड इज ग्रोविंग एवरी ईयर. नो दा ग्रोथ बस संगवी मंग बोस ड्रेक टाइप्स ऑफ ग्रोथ डिस्कस को. द डिविडेंड वैल्यूएशन मॉडल रिक्वायर्स द फोरकास्ट ऑफ ऑल फ्यूचर डिविडेंड्स. यानी मंग फोरकास्टिंग को मंग इंट्रिंसिक वैल्यू हम दानन नो बासु च मंग तो सुमरा डिविडेंड तरला से कवर शुदा स्टॉक मंग तो सुमरा गट राखी. द फॉलोइंग डिविडेंड ग्रोथ रेट assumptions simplify the valuation process. There are 3 types of dividend growth model: constant growth model, no growth model, and growth phases. So let me discuss one by one in turn. So first, constant growth model. The constant growth model assumes that dividends will grow forever at the rate of G. यानी constant है. यानी ₹1 हर काल स्था डिविडेंड ग्रो गई. सकाले ता ₹1 हासिल काल तो ₹2, नेक्स्ट ईयर ₹3, नेक्स्ट ईयर ₹4, नेक्स्ट ईयर ₹5. यानी G is equal to 1. यानी ग्रोथ दे दे यो सर मसावी दे हर काल ₹1 ग्रोथ गई. So this is a type of model of the growth model. So it's a constant growth model. there is no varying in the growth model. There is constant growth model. So what is the formula for the constant growth model? V is equal to D naught. D naught, the year in which you will not get any growth. You will get the exact dividend. Yani yo kaltir shu growth unush. Amaga Europe itala silk. No, that is called D naught. D0 or D naught. You can also call it D0 or it is also called D naught. So after 1 year, 1 plus growth is added to the D naught. After 1 year, you can see that 1 plus k whole is power by n. Whole is power by 1. After 1 year, it will be grow by a constant rate. So D naught multiplied by 1 plus growth divided by 1 plus ke. Ke, before I told you, it is the investor's required rate of return. So your dividend will be divided, will be discounted on the required rate of return of the investor. So next, plus D naught multiplied by 1 plus growth whole is power by 2. So D naught on the first year there is no growth. On the second year there is growth of 1 year, and on the third year there is growth of 2 years. So and it etc. and proceed till the infinity life. So as it has also again infinity life. So the formula will be reduced to the D1 divided by ke minus g. The formula is reduced form, reduced to the D1 divided by ke. It means that D1 is the growth of 1 year divided by the return of the investor's required rate minus growth. So it will show the intrinsic value of the constant growth model. So this is formula for the constant growth model. Now we assume a example for the constant growth model. Common stock or constant growth model of the stock has an expected growth rate of 8%. It means that every year it is growing their dividend by 8%. Each share of stock just received an annual 3.24 dividend. Its base 3.24 is base, and it will grow every year by 8% per share. The appropriate discount rate, which is the 15%, which is the investor's required rate of return. What is the value of the common stock? Simply you can find out the D1, because the 3.24 is D naught. The basic de mungsara. The basis the D naught de. No D one to find out ko no sabako 3.24 multiply ko 1 plus 0.8. If you remember in the formula, it is D1, and how the D1 is find out? D naught multiply by 1 plus growth. So it will be find out by growth. So D1 is equal to 3.24. It is base. It is D naught multiplied by 1 plus growth rate, that is 0.08, which is 8%. So it will equal 3.50. $3.50. Now we can find out on the base of formula, that is D1 divided by ke minus g. So D1 is $3.50 divided by ke is 15%, it means 0.15, minus g is 8%, which means 0.08. So it will become $50. So intrinsic value of a constant growth common stock will be $50 for 1 year only. For 1 year only. Clear? Next, zero growth model. Most of the organizations do not pay any type of growth to the investors. Same like the fixed dividend. So their dividend is fixed. So they have no growth model, but not fixed, same like the preferred stock. In the case of preferred stock, there is no loss, but in the case of common stock, although they have no growth, but they are related to the risk. They are concerned with the risk. So maybe possible some year they will not pay any type of dividend to the investors because they have lost. Dui tawan kade, no maybe possible to do dividend no worki. But kachire mang puttaga model ki growth to guru no growth nishta. G is equal to 0. Growth is equal to 0. 0 de growth. Growth no worki doi. That's organizations dear po dunia ki mawjudi should do growth no worki. Dui same level ki rawanwi. What will be the formula for the zero growth model? Value of the zero growth model VZG is equal to value of the zero growth model is equal to D1. Again, same like the constant growth model. That is D1 divided by 1 plus Ke whole is power by 1 plus D2 divided by 1 plus Ke whole is power by 2 plus D till infinity. So again it has the infinity life, so it will be discounted, it will be reduced to the d1 divided by ke. It is also for the 1 year. The bia yaw kalan de. Now what is d1? It is dividend paid at the time 1, and what is ke? It's investor required return. So it will be d1 will be discounted by the investor required return, so it will show the 1 year intrinsic value of the zero growth model stock. So we can write here ke minus g. So as g is equal to 0, ಎಂತ ಸುಖತಲೇ ಶೈ ಯಾನಿ ಅಮಾಗ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾದ ಅಮಾಗದೆ ಗ್ರೋತ್ ಮಾಡೆಲ್ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾದ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಗ್ರೋತ್ ಮಾಡೆಲ್ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾದ d1 डिवाइडेड बाय ke कचेरी मंगदल तो लिखो माइनस g नु लिखलो जरूरत निश्ता जका g is equal to 0 दागा जी की g ग्रोथ 0 दे नो 0 g मंग लिखलो जरूरत निश्ता जका 0 शो खत्मी की नु d1 डिवाइडेड बाय ke बात शो. Now let's discuss an example of the zero growth model. You can better understand on the understanding of the example. Stock zero growth has an expected growth rate of 0%. Zaka growth nishta. We don't have growth model. Each share of stock just received an annual 3.24 dividend, same dividend. So base is 3.24 dividend, so it has no growth. Per share, the appropriate discount rate is again 15%. What is the value of the common stock of this kind of common stock? So d1 is equal to 3.24 multiplied by 1 plus 0. So 1 multiplied by 3.24, it again will be equal to $3.24 because it is multiplied by 1. So there is no growth, it will not change. The value remains same. The value of d1 remains same. The d1 answer chade, the d1 value chada aga same pati ki zaka yow zarbe adat ama adat bertarazi. Zaka alta growth nishta. So what will be now we use this dividend and the formula, which is value of zero growth model is equal to d1 divided by ke minus 0. tasu katal chal tamma taswir g is equal to 0 no zarurat nishta da khatmi gi da portion khatmi gi ke pati ki no d1 $3.24 divided by 0.15 minus 0 no divided by 15, it will remain $21.6. So taso differentiate kawale shi haga organization ch growth work kai a way intrinsic value of $50 de aw ch kum organization zero growth work growth na work kai the way intrinsic value $21 de. There is a huge difference between the zero growth model and the constant growth model. Why you are going to purchase the zero growth model common stocks? Why you do not purchase the common stock which has constant growth model? But remember one thing, kacheri tasu zai zero growth model nu doi prices ba kam vi, kacheri tasu constant growth model stock akhali dagi price ba high vi, no altam tasu ta tawan nishta no agam mungta no prices ba ka zaka tasu katale shi yo shech quality wolari po market ki mobile iPhone 11 Pro de a quality lari no agi price ba jigwi क्वालिटी छे दे चाहा सिक्योरिटी लरी एडवांस दे सो कैमरे लरी एडवांस कैमरे लरी आगे लोक को गोरे दे आगे डिजाइन को गोरे दे आगे आगा नोर ऑप्शंस आउ दे आगे फीचर्स को गोरे नो कचेरे आगे कंपेयर किता सो दे यो मोबाइल चागा आईफोन 1 दे नो आईफोन 1 प्राइस कम दे जका उन सब को बिखी पैदा की गिम आगे फीचर्स दे आगे ऑप्शंस देर कम दे आगे कैमरास दे आगे लोक दे आगे डिजाइन दे डिफरेंट दे दागा सर नो द सेम लाइक दे जीरो ग्रोथ मॉडल की फीचर्स कम दी फीचर छे दे ग्रोथ निश्ता features kam lari options kam lari no the price ba kam vi as compared to the constant growth model agi ba price jigvi zaka features lari quality che de shage growth every year fark kai zati clear. Next, growth phases model. Dear students, you are supposed to concentrate most on the growth phases model. It's a little bit tough, it's a little bit difficult as compared to the other growth models such as zero growth model and the constant growth model. It has because it is a hybrid form of the growth model, constant growth model. Zaka the phases lari the for example drev kalunu kide yaw rakam growth work kai beratlun ki dre kala balakam growth work kai beratlun ki dre kala balakam growth work kai yani de constant growth constant de yaw europe chi mung misal work kado po constant growth model ki tal tak possibility sta das organization sta chi ago possibility de chi work kai chi ta option dar kai chi ta daga mung common stock परचेज का मंग बार रातलो उनके दरे काला बताता 2% या 10% बताता ग्रोथ दर को बैच काला pinzakala ya drekala purashul pasle drekala ya pinzakala tata mung 12% growth darko beche kala pinzakala ya shpakala purashul ratlun ki pinzakalo le par batata mung 15% growth darko no the growth different that this is called growth phases model no har phase ki the growth check different ki change ki badlun mumi fark ki no the growth phases model assumes that dividend for each year will grow at 2 or more different growth phase rates yani dua ya the do na zyad growth phases lari may be possible. So most of the organizations provide 2 phases growth. Most of the organizations provide to the investors 3 phase growths. May be possible every year. Har kal 2 phase badlai. Har kal sakali 10% dar kada kal te 10% bal kal te 12%. No possibility shta chi organization har kal pal growth phase che ki badal ki. No possibility shta chi your organization the yo kal the pinzo kalole par yo krom kism growth work pas lage na constant growth work do ka kism growth. So now what will be the formula for this kind of growth model? So V is equal to summation of all the future cash flows. Now what are these future cash flows? As it has different phases, so their growth model will be different. For example, for the first year, for the first 3 years, for the first 5 years, it will be grow by the d naught multiplied by 1 plus growth 1 whole s power by t divided by 1 plus ke whole s power by t. It's phase 1 where growth is provided for some years, for 2 years, for 3 years, for 5 years. Anyhow, plus you have the second phase which is growth 2. You can see that G2. Here is G1 and here is G2. So there are 2 phases in formula. If there are 3 phases, you can again apply the plus sign and again dn multiply by 1 plus growth 3 whole s power by t divided by 1 plus k whole s power by t. Clear? So let me explain it in more detail. So note that the second phase of the growth phase model assumes that dividend will grow at a constant rate of G2. So in the first phase, we apply the growth model of different phases. In the second phase, we apply the constant growth model formula. So you can see here, value is equal to summation of all future cash flows, that is d naught multiplied by 1 plus growth 1 whole s power by t divided by 1 plus k whole s power by t. So again it will be plus added by 1 divided by 1 plus ke whole s power by n multiplied by d n plus 1. It is second phase. So it's constant ke minus g2. You can see this is the constant growth model. The formula for the constant growth model ke minus g2. There was ke minus g. Here as we have g1, so therefore they written here g2. So g2, the growth 2 phase is constant forever. Clear? Now growth phases model example we can better understand by doing example of the growth phases. Now assume that stock growth phases, common stock has an expected growth of rate of 16% for the first 3 years. Avalni drev kalule para 16% growth and 8% thereafter be again urusta forever at a percent growth de you know das katale shi awal kal dom kal drem kal drev kalule para 16% grow kai har kal 16% grow kai lekin put second phase ki put second stage ki kala dre kala pura shu again urusta at a the growth rate de lekin forever the total kalule para no das katale shi it's constant growth model. अवल फेज की कांस्टेंट दे हर काल 4% इजाफा कीगी चागा द्रे कलोले पारा दे पर दोम स्टेज की चागा 8% फॉर एवर दे चागे की और ग्रोथ निश्ता 8% दे हर काल ले पारा कांस्टेंट दे. ईच शेयर ऑफ स्टॉक जस्ट रिसीव्ड ऑन एनुअल ऑफ 3.24. इट्स अ बेस D naught. It's called D naught. That's simply find out college where it's D naught. So dividend per share. The appropriate discount rate is 15%. Again, it is the base. It is the required rate of the investor. Right, it's the required rate of investor. Sorry guys. Okay, the appropriate discount rate is investors required rate, and what is the value of the common stock under this scenario? But that's a scenario keeper in the case of growth phase model. What will be the intrinsic value of a common stock? Now let's solve it. First of all, we are supposed to draw a timeline for that from the year 0 to infinity life. It is a timeline. So for 0 to 1 it is D1, you better know, because at the start of this model I told you that in the 0 you will not get any type of growth, you only get the base dividend. After completion of 1 year, after the accomplishment of 1 year, you will get the growth dividend. So it will become D1. In the second year again it will become D2. In the third year it will become D3. So it is first phase. In the example, you will get 16% dividend growth in D1, 16% in D2, and 16% in D3. So the first phase is completed. So there was the there was a growing model. In the second phase, you can see in D4, from D4 onward, forever, you have a growth of 8% till infinity. You can see that growth of 16% for 3 years. Every year your dividend will grow by 16%. After the completion of first phase, that is till third year, then from the start of D4, from the fourth year and onward, you will get growth of 8% to infinity. So it's constant. So first phase is growing, the second phase is constant. So therefore I told you it's a hybrid form. We can use the growth model as well as the constant growth model. So stock GP has two phases of growth. The first phase is 16%, starts at time 0 for 3 years and is followed by 8% thereafter, starting at t is equal to 3. We should view the timeline as two separate timelines in the valuation. The first timeline is the growth timeline and the second timeline is constant growth timeline. Clear? Now we can differentiate them. We can separate them. The first from 0 to D3 and the second from D3 start from D4 to D6. Now دلته تاسو یو شی ته پام ولرئ. د 0 نه تر 3 پورې دا زموږ growth phase دی. دلته موږ هر کال 14% زموږ dividend grow کوي. په second phase کې زموږ د constant دی. هر کال 8% grow کوي، هر کال constant. سو الته بیا growing نشته. نو تاسو په اول فیز کې تاسو ګورئ د D1 د فایند آوټ کولو لپاره موږ سره D0 موجود دی، د 0 D0 یا D0. لیکن د D4 د فایند آوټ کولو لپاره موږ سره به D0 شي D3. نو دې چې ته ډېر پام کوئ. په اول کې D0 موږ سره دغه دی، د D1 د فایند آوټ کولو لپاره D0 ملټیپلای کوو. لیکن کله چې موږ D4 فایند آوټ کوو بیا خو D0 نشته، زموږ فیز خو بیا اوس سٹارټ دی او سٹارټ د کوم ځای نه دی؟ د D3 نه دی. نو D3 به زموږ لپاره D0 جوړیږي د D4 د فایند آوټ کولو لپاره. کوم ویلیو چې موږ سره په D0 کې دی هغه به ملټیپلای کوو، D1 به لاسته راځي. لیکن موږ چې کله D4 فایند آوټ کوو موږ کوم ویلیو چې په D3 کې لاسته راځي هغه به ملټیپلای کوو د دغه سره growth 1 plus growth سره، growth 2 سره. نو موږ ته به D4 لاسته راځي. نو دې پوینټ ته به ډېر زیات پام کوئ. Note that we can value phase 2 using the constant growth model. Clear? Now let me start using a formula for the growth phases models example. So V3, it's a value of 3, phase 3, which is equal to D4 divided by K minus G. It's constant. We can use the model because dividend grow at a constant. So if you remember, we used D1 divided by K minus G. So here I told you that ما اوس تاسو ویل چې D4 لپاره موږ سره چې د D3 دی، D3 به موږ یوز کوو او D4 به لاسته راځي. نو تاسو وګورئ D4 د لاسته راوړو لپاره داسې ازیوم کوي چې زموږ فرست فیز کمپلیټ شو، دا موږ سره D1 ډیوایډډ بای K ماینس G دی. داسې ازیوم کوي تاسو. لیکن په فارمولا کې موږ لیکو D4 لیکو، لیکن داسې موږ ازیوم کوو چې دا D1 دی. او D1 موږ څنګه فایند آوټ کوو؟ D0 ملټیپلای بای 1 پلس growth. موږ ته D1 لاسته راځي. نو موږ دلته به چیک کوو D4 به څنګه لاسته کوو؟ D3 ملټیپلای بای 1 پلس growth 2. نو موږ ته به D4 لاسته راځي ډیوایډډ بای KE minus G, same formula. So from the 0 to till 3, it is the growth from the 3 onward, from D4, D5, D6 till infinity life. So it will be constant. Note that we can now replace all dividend from year 4 to infinity with the value of t is equal to 3, which is equal to V3, value of 3. So simpler, it's very simpler. Now you can see from 0 to D3, it's base timeline. From the 3 onward, it is new timeline. So it will be V3 is equal to D4 divided by K minus G, constant formula. Clear? Now let me start to solve this kind of example which we studied before that. From first year till the third year, our dividend will grow by the 16%. From the year third onward till infinity life, our dividend will grow by 8%. So how we calculate it? Let me start. D naught, its base. D naught base de 3.24. This is the has been paid already. देखिए एस ग्रोथ निश्ता अवल काले पर ग्रोथ निश्ता जका सेम टू सेम दे D1 च फाइंड आउट को तासु कतले च D1 च फाइंड आउट को मक्के तासु वेले D0 मल्टीप्लाई बाय 1 प्लस ग्रोथ 1 होल इज पावर बाय 1 यो काले पार नु D0 मंग सर सुमर दे 3.24 मल्टीप्लाई बाय 1 प्लस ग्रोथ 1 सुमरो 16% होल इज पावर बाय 1 यो काले पार इट विल बिकम $3.76. D2 च मंग फाइंड आउट को सेम D0 मल्टीप्लाई बाय 1 प्लस ग्रोथ 1 होल इज पावर बाय 2 लेकिन दादी दो कलोले पार ग्रोथ नु 3.24 मल्टीप्लाई बाय 1.60 होल इज पावर बाय 2 इट विल बिकम $4.36. D3 च फाइंड आउट को नु अमाग D0 मंग सर 1 प्लस मल्टीप्लाई बाय 1 प्लस ग्रोथ 1 होल इज पावर बाय 3 द द्रेव कलोले पार उस ग्रोथ कई नु 3.24 मल्टीप्लाई 1.16 होल इज पावर बाय 3 इट विल बिकम $5.06. नाउ फॉर द D4 मंग D0 नहीं उसको मंग तो D3 इसको D3 सुमर दे 5.06 दा मंग ले पारा बेस दे अल तो मंग ले पारा बेस 3.24 हो तल तो मंग ले पारा बेस 5.06 दे जेको उस मंग सेकंड फेज दे नो D4 is equal to D3 multiplied by 1 plus growth 2 the second phase दे second growth दे whole is power by 1 जेका दा कांस्टेंट दे यो कलो ले पारा फाइंड आउट को नो 5.06 which is D3 multiplied by 1.08 जेका दलते ग्रोथ जमंग आता फीसद दे 8% दे होल इज पावर बाय 1 चुंदा इंफिनिटी लाइफ दे नु मंग यो काल पार फाइंड आउट को नु मंग D4 पर फाइंड आउट को व्हिच इज इक्वल टू 5.46. नाउ यू कैन सी दैट फ्रॉम फर्स्ट ईयर फ्रॉम 0 to 3 3.76 फॉर फर्स्ट ईयर $4.36 फॉर सेकंड ईयर $5.06 फॉर थर्ड ईयर. नाउ फॉर फोर्थ ईयर व्हाट विल बी फॉर द फोर्थ ईयर वेयर 5.46 मंगले पार छे दे D3 दे divided by 0.15 minus 0.08 so it will become $78. Now we need to find out the present value of the cash flows. उस मंग दे total present values find out को if you remember the formula की मंग value चे मंग find out को चे present values of all the future cash flows. उस मंग future cash flows find out करो ग्रोथ मंग तर आकड़ो और मंग बेस दगा डिविडेंड आकड़ो मंग ता आगा कैश फ्लोज नो मालूम उस मंग टूल ले पारा कैश फ्लोज मालूम कड़ा हम दे ईयर 1 ले पारा हम दे ईयर 2 ले पारा हम दे ईयर 3 ले पारा एज वेल एज हम दे ईयर 4 ले पारा चागा $78 दी दे ईयर 3 ले पारा 5.06 दे ईयर 2 ले पारा 4.36 दे ईयर 1 ले पारा 3.76 ऑफ ईयर 4 ले पारा $78. Now that tool mung check out discount code the present value le par. Now you can see present value of D1 which is equal to they find out in the book in the slides we found out the present value of interest factors of 15% for 1 year which is 3.76 multiplied by 0.87 which becomes 3.27 yani that discount to the present value le para the value chela sarala 3.27 the year 2 le para again it is discounted and it is found out 3.3 the year 3 le para the dividend 3 le para that is 5.06 discounted by the 0.658 which became $3.33. Now for the P3 we can find out 5.06 divided by 0.15 minus which becomes 78. मखनी स्लाइड की फाइंड आउट करे इट्स कांस्टेंट ग्रोथ मॉडल. सो व्हाट विल बी द प्रेजेंट वैल्यू ऑफ 78? सो 78 ऑफ 15% for 3 years will be $51.32. Now we sum all these cash flows. Value is equal to summation. A summation formula होता है यदि 3.27 plus 3.33 plus 3.33 plus 51.32. It will become the value of this kind of stock will be 61.22. You can differentiate between all these three kinds of models. The zero model it was $21 and the constant growth model it was $50 and in the growth phase model it is $61. Then why you are not going to purchase the constant growth model common stock? Like again I will tell you that there is difference in prices of these all these types of dividend growth models. کچېرې تاسو زیرو growth model اخلي هغه پرایس به کم وي ځکه هغه انټرنسک ویلیو $21 راځي نو هغه پرایس به کم وي. کچېرې تاسو کانسټنټ growth model اخلي نو هغه به as compared to the zero growth model د هغه پرایس به هاي وي ځکه هغه انټرنسک ویلیو $50 راغی. اوس کچېرې موږ د growth phase model پر سټاک اخلو نو د دې پرایس به هاي وي as related to other two, as related to the zero growth model as well as to the constant growth model ځکه د دې intrinsic value $61 راغی د دې intrinsic value زیات دی نو د دې price به زیات وي. So this was your today's lecture. Dear students, I will provide you the examples, other examples in the document file to you. You are supposed to solve the constant growth model as well as zero growth model as well as the growth phase model. One examples you will better understand in the solution of those examples. For now, have a good time, have a nice time. Thank you so much. Thank you very much.